I have done a lot of videos where I explain movies or TV shows that just go beyond the realm of wild, that the only way to discuss it is to just tell you what I saw. But on occasion, there is sometimes a trailer, perhaps, that is so insane that to just react to it is not enough. Like, you just need to really deep dive down into what did I just see? And that is what I have to do with Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. So in case you do not know, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers is getting a brand new movie. It is coming out on Disney Plus. I'd heard about it already because I'm a huge fan of Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. In case you do not know, I love Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. I would even go as far as to say I might have enjoyed it a little bit more when I was younger than DuckTales, even though I love them both. Obviously, they're both great cartoon shows. But it was just something about Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers where I love the series. I love like collecting random things about Rescue Rangers. I still have random things about Rescue Rangers to this day. So I was all about hearing about this movie. And I had already heard that it was going to be some kind of meta thing going on where Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers would be an actual show and we would be having a live action hybrid with animation sort of thing going. And I just figured we're probably going to get some CGI Chip 'n Dale in the human world, and that was going to be it. I'm dumb because this movie has so much more than that. So the trailer starts with this sort of True Hollywood story type of vibe, talking about Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. You remember them from back in the day. And we get to see them at their highlight when Rescue Rangers is on television. They're huge stars. They're having big parties. DJ by MC Scat Cat and Paula Abdul. So let me just start with that. So MC Scat Cat, if you don't know who that is, if you're too young for that, there was a song from Paula Abdul called Opposites Attract. 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps back. We come together cause opposites attract. And you know, it ain't fiction, just a natural fact. And she had a music video for that song where she danced with an animated rapping cat, MC Scat Cat. And they both make a cameo in this trailer. So I'm already seeing that and going, okay, that's cute. You're doing like a whole like, oh, back in the late 80s, early 90s, who else was popular with Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, MC Scat Cat, Paula Abdul. Then Roger Rabbit shows up.
Dancing the Roger Rabbit with Roger Rabbit.
Now, Roger Rabbit is one of those characters I was like, I don't know what his deal is because he's with Disney, but he's also with Spielberg and Amblin, and I don't know what the use of him is allowed is. So you don't see Roger Rabbit that very often. So the fact that you have Roger Rabbit just pop up in this trailer doing the Roger Rabbit dance. I was already like, what is going on? Because Roger Rabbit is here. Please, and he even has to laugh. Like, it's Roger Rabbit, y'all, from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. One of my favorite movies of all time is right next to one of my favorite TV show cartoons of all time from what? I'm just like, wow, it's that type of movie. And we just getting started. There is way more than that in Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. The trailer, not the entire movie, just the trailer. Monterey Jack, Gadget, Zipper. You have the Ranger plane. You got the 3 little pigs up in the party there. 80s, 90s overload, nostalgia overload, references aplenty. I love that they show all the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers merchandise, including one of my favorite 8-bit Nintendo games of all time, the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers NES game, the official game next to a Nintendo with the box. I have that game. Wait. Where is it? Right here in box, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, the video game on the Nintendo Entertainment System from Capcom USA. Oh my gosh, I love this game. I got this game for Christmas, and I absolutely loved it. I got this game and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, at the same time for Christmas. What a Christmas, right? But they show that in the trailer. But you hear Chip 'n Dale speak in this thing, and they don't have their usual Chip 'n Dale voices.
To many more seasons of the Rescue Rangers.
Chip is voiced by John Mulaney, and Dale is voiced by Andy Samberg. And I'm sure everyone was like, oh my gosh, here we go again with cartoon characters having the voices of celebrities. However, I feel like this is being done on purpose. So, little history for you. Back in Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, the show days, Tress MacNeille, Dot from Animaniacs, Babs Bunny from Tiny Toon Adventures, she was the voice of Chip. And Corey Burton was the voice of Dale. And what they would do on the old show is Chip and Dale, when they were doing the voice acting recordings, would talk slower in their regular voice. And then in editing, they would pitch up and speed up their voice to be normal speed and to have that high-pitched chipmunk voice. So I think that is why Chip and Dale have these actor voices in this. I think that's going to be a meta deep cut reference to the fact that Chip and Dale's voices were actually sped up in the original cartoon series. I know that that's still a way for them to have celebrity voices in it and not to have them speak in chipmunk voice all the time. But what I imagine is going to happen in the movie, this is just a theory, just a prediction. I think we're going to see clips of the show with the chipmunk voices, and then they're going to somehow reference that, well, they sped up our voices for the cartoon in the same way they actually did in the actual show. And of course, everything is working great for Chip and Dale until 30 years later, the show is over. And then you notice that Dale looks different because he's now in CGI. So obviously we know that a lot of cartoons, when they get rebooted, the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies, the first Smurfs movies, Garfield, you know, it's always about making that CG reboot of classic characters. So they actually have that as a point in the movie, apparently, where Dale, he literally says it in the trailer, he gets CGI surgery to turn from a 2D animated character to a CG animated character.
You look different.
Hey, it's no secret I had the CGI surgery done.
Becoming CG is like plastic surgery in the cartoon world. And Dale does it because he's doing like conventions and stuff, but Chip's like, nah, I'm gonna stay 2D. Monterey Jack is also in this movie, and if you remember from the original animated series, Monterey Jack always had that thing for cheese. A cheese. But in this trailer, cheese is a drug addiction. Like, it is very clear that Monterey Jack's life has gone downhill because he was so addicted to cheese. And you see this alleyway where all these different mice, both 2D and 3D mice, are just addicted to cheese.
My love of cheese got the best of me. I just love it so much.
There's this one mouse that's just all fat and just keeps eating cheese. It's like, more please. More please. More please.
More please. More please.
We need to have a rehab or intervention for Monterey Jack for his cheese addiction. Oh my gosh. There also seems to be scenes at a comic convention, so I feel like we're going to get a lot of references and cameos from that. In just one shot alone, we see someone cosplaying as Borat. We see someone with a Batman shirt on, which that's just insane. In a Disney movie, we got the Batman symbol. And it also looks like that there's a mix of live action and animated characters even at that convention. Animated characters living life like humans do. Like, is this one anime character, is that from something, or is that just a random anime girl that they decide to have? There's a dude in the background in this one shot that literally looks like a buff Master Roshi from Dragon Ball. I love that my friend Alou, I've seen Alou a couple times on my channel. She's actually in this trailer. She's dressed as Moana. So I was like, hey, Alou, that's my friend, yay! And the movie seems to point out something that is a bit of trivia for Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. Chip's outfit is based after Indiana Jones. And they actually make a joke in this where Chip tries to wear a disguise and accidentally goes through an Indiana Jones booth and dresses up like Indiana Jones, because that's what his outfit is actually based on. Dale's outfit is actually based on Magnum PI. So I wonder if they'll make a reference to that as well. This movie is taking some straight up deep cuts that I just did not expect for Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. Like, I just thought, okay, we're going to have Chip and Dale go on an adventure. And it looks like, looking at this trailer, they're definitely going to go on some kind of adventure. Some kind of case is going to be solved in real life as part of their comeback. But the CG surgery, all the different cameos from other Disney cartoons and other cartoons in general. I'm sorry, not just Disney cartoons. I'm jumping ahead here, but I got to mention this. My Little Pony is in this trailer. There is a shot of Chip and Dale riding on My Little Ponies. They're like a cross between the 80s My Little Pony and the Friendship is Magic My Little Pony, but still it's the ponies. My Little Pony, the official My Little Pony, is up in this trailer in the same way that we had different characters that weren't Disney cartoon characters in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It looks like there's a possibility of that happening here as well. what other non-Disney cartoons could possibly show up. Obviously, we're gonna get some Disney ones, like we saw Scrooge McDuck. Scrooge McDuck is up in here, definitely swimming in some money. That's what Scrooge McDuck do. And then there's a point where it looks like there's an Aladdin or Prince Ali Aladdin up in this on a magic carpet. So obviously we're gonna get some Disney ones, but the fact that My Little Pony is in here, I'm like, are we also gonna get non-Disney ones as well? And then you also have Best Friend. She's a real bad in this. This movie is from The Lonely Island, so I'm not surprised at how wild this is. If you ever seen Hot Rod or Popstar or any of the Lonely Island music videos, you know The Lonely Island does that wild stuff. So they're bringing their wildness to Chippendale Rescue Rangers in a way I never would have expected. This could have easily just been like, hey, let's just do a movie version of the old cartoon show and CG them. But they are definitely playing around with not just that, but like it's the meta of reboots and the meta of updating characters for a new generation. And, you know, and yeah, some of it's going to be on the nose and some of it's been jokes we've seen before, but it's just an interesting take for Chippendale Rescue Rangers. And don't people get started about, you're ruining my child. Yeah, some of y'all too young for Chippendale Rescue Rangers. I'm sorry, you might have caught the reruns, but I was there. All right, if I can get through it, you younglings can get through it too. Jeez. Chippendale's my childhood. You were born in like 2002. And then, there's this one shot that I just don't know what's going on. There is some beast that I thought had Fat Cat's head at first, because I was like, it's a cat head, must be Fat Cat, because that was the main villain in Rescue Rangers. But now looking closer, there's like a little bow on the top of the head of the cat. So I'm like, is that one of the Aristocats? But it's a cat head with what looks like Little John's body, Little John from the Robin Hood animated movie. Robin Hood, Little John walk through the forest. Ooh, the lolly, right? And then it looks like it has a Wreck-It Ralph arm, some robot legs, and then like a freaking banner falls down Jurassic Park style. They're like, let's go to the land of weird CG animation. They were definitely kind of poking fun at the sort of like the Robert Zemeckis style. You know, he had that whole phase where he was trying to make animated live action motion capture CG type things, actors' faces, but on CG bodies. And they had like the weird uncanny valley in the eyes and all that kind of stuff. So it's like kind of referencing that, or just bad CG in general. We even get like a Beowulf style Seth Rogen warrior thing going on here, where they even are making fun of him not looking at them directly because he's just looking all over the place with the eyes.
It actually looks like I'm looking right at you.
Okay.
Look at my eyes, looking right at your eyes.
But these Rescue Rangers, it's like someone who made this trailer. I'm just gonna say it. I think someone who made this trailer watches my channel, because they knew I like Rescue Rangers and they knew I like nostalgia references, but they're like, how can we further get Andre on board with this thing? Let's make a reference to cats. Who does that? There is a shot with these two human-looking cats fighting in the alley, and I'm like, that's cats, dude. That's McCavity right there. McCavity. Oh, well, I never was there ever. This is just the trailer. Can you imagine what's going to happen to me when this movie comes out? This is just the trailer. Well, wait, there's more. And this is where it's going to get crazy. This is where we're going to get into straight up prediction theory town. So they have a description of the movie. In Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Chippendale are living amongst cartoons and humans in modern day Los Angeles, but their lives are quite different now. It's been decades since their successful television series was canceled. Chip has become an insurance salesman. Dale has had CGI surgery and works a nostalgia convention circuit. That's a real thing. Desperate to relive his glory days. When a former castmate mysteriously disappears, Chip and Dale must repair their broken friendship and take on their Rescue Rangers detective personas once again to save their friend's life. So this is kind of like a Galaxy Quest thing. Rescue Rangers is an actual TV show, but now Chip and Dale, who played the Rescue Rangers, are going to have to become Rescue Rangers in real life because one of their friends has been kidnapped. Theory prediction time. We see Chip, we see Dale, and we see a good amount of Monterey Jack and Zipper in this. You know who we don't see a lot of in this trailer is Gadget. We see her in the early scenes back in the late 80s, early 90s, but 30 years later, there's not a lot of Gadget to be seen. So I'm going to assume that Gadget is the one that is kidnapped, and this might be a reference to a real world thing. So if you don't know this, look this up on the Googles. This is legit. There is a legit religion that worships Gadget from Rescue Rangers. That is a real thing. Apparently it's in Russia. So I'm wondering if they're going to actually have that real thing that exists somehow play a part in the storyline of this Rescue Rangers movie. That is my guess. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen in the movie. It's just a prediction. But given that she's shown the least in this and the description of the movie says a friend of theirs, a former castmate, is missing, I mean, it makes for a good movie in my opinion. This is insane! And it's going to be on Disney Plus, and I have to watch it. This trailer broke me, y'all. This trailer broke me. Chip and Dale. Chip and Dale with DuckTales and My Little Pony and a Disney monster at the end and a CG Seth Rogen and some cats. It's like I wrote this. Oh man, I can't wait to see this. Welcome to Black Nerd Comedy, everybody. This is what you're getting. 2022 is like this now. It's like this and like that and like this. And take your Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Today we talking about the Rescue Rangers. Chip and Dale. Forget it. Bye.